Hello, my name is Jennifer, and welcome to my renovation of 930 Medina Suites, which is part of the Battle Collab arranged by Havana Sims, where we're currently making over places in San Myshuno. So here are our instructions for the renovation. The Acuna family is in desperate need of help renovating their apartment. Between the father needing space, his daughter not wanting to move out, and an unexpected newborn and twin toddlers, this is an emergency renovation. The needs were a man cave for the father, a separate living space for the daughter, an ensuite for the newborn in the parents' room, a fun toddler's room. They love animals, and the style was supposed to be modern/boho to the whole apartment except for the man cave and the separate area for the daughter. It was due at 12 p.m. today, which is when the video should be going live, and there will be a tour by Havana Sims at 2 p.m. Eastern on her Twitch channel, and the list of everyone participating is up there on the screen, as well as it'll be down below in the description. As usual, there's going to be voting on whose is best, and a link to the voting will also be down below in the description. 930 Medina Suites is actually quite a large apartment, but when you have to put in all the things we were supposed to, it's a bit small. Plus you've got the whole inside wall, which has no windows. So I was struggling a little bit to try and make sure the windows were used appropriately. I kept the mini suite, ensuite apartment down on the end where it kind of looked like it would fit an ensuite, though as you may have seen, I extended it slightly into the hallway area to give a little bit more space in the apartment. The bedroom itself, you can see, is very small. It's narrow, but luckily with Sims 4, you can put a double bed in a 3-grid space, and Sims could even get in on either side. I figured I'd let her have a little bit of space in case she ever wanted to have someone come over and visit, so she has room for that. And she has a vanity table. So the bathroom I didn't show the renovation of, and even though it's not fully renovated, you saw it there as it was. I do go in and add some tile and whatnot later. So this open area is obviously like the kitchen area, and there'll be a little living room space, and also this is where the dresser for the bedroom goes, as well as a little desk with a computer on it. So this is her little ensuite living space. I figured the bedroom, I normally would like to have a window in the bedroom, but just like I said, I tried to play with it. I figured it was better to have the windows in the living space because she goes into the bedroom and she sleeps in this way. She gets a nice dark space, but as you can see, there's no actual door into the bedroom because it's kind of like almost like a little bit of a bachelor place, except for that there's more walls and it's just a door. That chair, that couch, and that little thing that looks like the suitcases, they change color later, but off camera, I decided to go with the pink theme to match the bedroom. So I don't know if you noticed, but what I would do with the various things is I would select it and then delete, and then it gets rid of everything there. But I first shaped the walls where I kind of thought I wanted them, so that I end up making this main living space that I'm carving out here one notch, I think 1 grid smaller later on. But that will be for later. That little area there, that's sort of by the ensuite, becomes the toddler bedroom. And then I made what was the hall just essentially an entrance area to the apartment. What you don't see on camera is where I put an archway into the main living space. I later put a door that is still a double door that matches the door that's there. So essentially when you come into the apartment, there's an entrance area, the laundry goes in there, and you can either go off to the daughter's space or into the main apartment. And I actually have the family. They'll be on the gallery too, as well as this apartment, which will be as a room. Again, I didn't show the decoration, furnishing and decorating of that bathroom, which I made an ensuite for that bedroom, which is, like I said, the toddler's bedroom, which you can see here, where I am decorating it. So I did my best to say, I sort of looked up what natural modern was, and it seemed like it was kind of an emphasis on natural colors, woods, and some, stainless steel and whites and creams and maybe some browns. That's what I was seeing. So I tried my best to stay kind of in that theme with this. And so that's why I went with those particular beds for the toddler bedroom, because they were a little bit more, natural looking. So as you can see, as I mentioned, I put laundry in this entrance area because I figured they would want to share the laundry between the main family and the daughter. And so that's why I figured that was kind of the best place for it, as opposed to putting it somewhere in the actual apartment. Plus, there wasn't really a lot of room anywhere else. This was like a good space to put it, but it actually had like a thought process behind it that I thought it made sense to be there, so that it was like a shared laundry for like both of them to use it out there. And the kind of the main thing I have to say, so they have a little entranceway so the daughter can come and go as she wants and sees fit, and not disturb the rest of the family. And honestly, the rest of the family can come and go as they see fit and not disturb the daughter, because essentially there's like a foyer there that they go off to their own apartments. And this is where I realized that this was not quite big enough for the bed, for what I wanted it to be, for, you know, the bedroom and the man cave kind of thing. And this is where actually the kitchen was. I did off camera try and see if I could like change where the kitchen was, and for me, this made the most sense. I'm sure there will be lots of other ways that it's done, but this worked because, like I said, the lack of windows. That was on that whole big, long, it's a long apartment, and that whole wall on the one side has no windows on it. And much as I often like to have windows in a kitchen, I'd rather have windows in the living room and the dining room and stuff like that. So that's kind of what I did, except for that, of course, as usual, it's an all open, like the living room eating area, and the kitchen is all open, because that's just kind of what I like. Especially, I like to play with that. It just makes it easier to see what all the Sims are doing, and I find it helps a little bit more with the flow of Sims. So, and because I use the light there from Cool Kitchen, unless you use Move Objects, you can't actually put covers underneath it because it's a light. So it's a light slash fan. So I usually just use some shelves. You'll probably have seen that in other of my builds where I put a lot of the clutter up. But in this case, it made sense that there wasn't as much clutter, because that's sort of from what I had read with the modern look, is that there's like a minimalist, not so much clutter. So it kind of was like a more clean line. So I didn't use as much decor. I don't tend to use a lot of clutter anyways, but I probably tried to cut down and used even less than normal in this particular build because of that. But I did put those counters over there because that's where their tea and coffee maker goes. The tea maker is a base game, and I use like the espresso slash machine thing from Get Together. That's it. Because I thought that kind of made sense. They're probably the kind of family that might like an espresso maker off their eating area. And I put the little ottoman there because I figured often I'll pull the chairs out from the table for toddlers, because I do not like to use high chairs. I find them a nuisance with toddlers, and I usually will pull the chairs out, but that space didn't really have a lot of room for me to pull the chairs out, so instead I just grabbed the ottoman and put it kind of close to where the kitchen table was, so that, or the dining room table was, so that the toddlers could sit on that instead and still be close to the family when they were eating. And again, that whole natural color, that's why I use that. And it also matches, that color matches that tile, which that tile is actually from Jungle Adventures, but I think that, and I can't remember the other one is, I wasn't paying attention there. But anyways, and I use these pictures from Get Famous throughout the apartment, like not that particular one, but like the category of pictures in various places. And since they are still a family, I got them a family bulletin board. And here I came back to, like, I had set the bare bones of the apartment up here, and I changed it to add the animals that they liked. The fact that they liked a lot of animals, I went and grabbed like little animal pictures and put them up on the wall, and then I think I rearranged where some of them are, because the little teddy bear that's over in the one corner, or cat or whatever animal was soft friend that I put there, plush, I end up moving it over there to the corner where the window is, and I put the bookcase by the door, because I like to have bookcases close to the toddler bed, because I find sometimes when the Sims want to read the toddlers to bed, that they'll go for a bookcase, and so it'll take them longer if the bookcase is far from the toddler bed. So I will often have the bookcase either right outside the toddler's bedroom or inside the toddler's bedroom at the door or something like that. And of course I had to give them little night lights, because even though toddlers, they don't help with toddler nightmares, they still will have them. They will get a nice moodlet from them. And that I end up having to make smaller, because every time I tried to save the room to the gallery, it would disappear. And you can see there, I didn't end up using that picture. I used the pictures that were from Get Famous instead. And that's the after of another one of the bathrooms, because I just cut the bathrooms out because they just were taking, it would have made the video too long to show them, and a kind of bathroom's a bathroom. And one of the things was that you had to have the ensuite for the baby. So my idea here was that that was actually a walk-in closet, and they took the stuff to hang up the clothes and put it like at the entrance to the room and put the baby in there. But I decorate this room off camera because essentially all I did was, you know, add the wall coverings, the rug, and then the bassinet. And then I realized it wasn't really very decorated, and so I decided to change it afterwards. And this table I ended up getting rid of because the mom, she was in the business career, and I was play testing and playing with her, and she got an opportunity came up, and I took it, and she lost her job. But I thought she would instead make videos at home because she had like the baby and the toddler, so she would be able to do something while she was at home. So I got rid of that, and I replaced it with like a video creation system because I wanted it out there. I moved the wellness mat, the yoga mat, over to the daughter's area in a different color to match it. I do keep that treadmill there because I figured they want to like get fit, so that's where they kept it. I didn't have room in the man cave for that, and plus I figured the mom would want to use the treadmill as well as the dad. So here's the man cave. I do end up darkening this off camera, which you'll see in the screenshots, because it was a man cave, so I figured it should be darker. And that's the other reason I thought it was okay to not have an outside window here, because, you know, we go in, you're watching movies, playing games, you just don't need the daylight and the brightness in there. And I think when I did this, I added a little globe bar that you can see it right there. I take that out off camera because I realized I hadn't put very many computers in this place, and I figured he probably would want a computer in his man cave, and so I rearranged that back and give him a desk with a computer instead of the globe bar, because it's not like there's not a bar in the house or in the apartment already, so they don't really need it. So this apartment is actually really expensive, and when I told my oldest that we had to, you know, this was the goal for this, his comment was, I think it's time for them to move to a house. And the value of the renovation is such that they totally could have moved to a penthouse, really, and it had the same space for her and all that. But the advantage, of course, in an apartment is that the bills are set and has no bearing on how expensive everything in the apartment is. I think they're $1,500 a week or $1,000 a week. They're really low. But if you actually lived in a penthouse or a house, they would be like a lot higher because they're based on the value. And here you can just see me trying to show how I took out the walls to essentially make it one room to take it up on the gallery as a one space. And that's what essentially you do. And then I realized I had never finished decorating this bedroom. I had done the basics for it and the layout, but I'd gone on to do other things. So then I add, you know, the pink on the wall and some rugs and some pictures, but the bed and the vanity table stays there. But essentially I'm just adding a little bit of decor because, like I said, I realized when I was like starting to knock out the walls that I hadn't actually finished the space very well. It was very plain, but I gave it to her pretty. Then I didn't realize, because when I initially was doing this, I had not I had the family downloaded, but I hadn't played with them at all. And she's a scientist, so she's a girly scientist, which I thought was kind of funny. And which is why eventually, like I said, I changed that to be actually the couch ends up being kind of like a cream. Well, there, I did actually change the cream color there, and then I pick up on the pink there, but I forgot about the little table that held the TV, and I didn't change it to pink until later. So there, and you put it back. And once you do that, you're fine. You can put something on there, just that you have to remember if something's on the wall where you want to delete it, that you have to move it, then delete it, and then move it back, and then you're going to be fine. So same here, where I was like, okay, that's kind of, and I just decided, oh, I like how I switched it around, and I just left it like that. So anyways, that's just sort of how you go around doing that to make it all one room to go on the gallery. And the bathroom, I think then I realized I hadn't done the bathroom, which it is done. The bathroom itself is done. So you can see there, that's the ensuite bathroom. So the apartment actually has 4 bathrooms, because there's essentially 3 en-suites and then 1 family shared one. And there's the starting picture floor plan and how it looks like at the end. And we're essentially going to go through a whole bunch of screenshots of mostly after pictures, but a handful of before pictures. I label the before pictures, but anything that has no label is an after picture. And another funny thing that happened when I was playing with the family is the mom had a whim to try for another baby with the husband. And I was kind of like, you're full to the brim. This apartment has no room for another baby. So I think no. I think if you want another baby, it'll be time to move to a penthouse or something like that. The dad is a politician, so it kind of makes sense for them to live in San Myshuno. So, but there is a nice penthouse that I like to live, like I like to use in San Myshuno all the time. So you can sort of see there's the mini ensuite apartment that is the daughter, so she spent most of her time with everybody in the main living space and not in her apartment. This, I just thought I'd get a glance from the outside. That's the two, like the apartment and the toddler's room, and you can see the before and after. Of course, it's pretty bare in the first place because it's a starter apartment. You can have Sims move in there. It's very cheap. It has very basic furnishing, essentially, to allow your Sims to move in there. So it's actually an apartment that when I play in San Myshuno, I quite like because it really has a lot of space and your Sims can get in there for a really good price. But this is not cheap. This apartment, once it was redone, it's got some high-end things in there. High-end TV, high-end couch, high-end, lots of high-end things. And here's just a few little videos of them in action in a couple of the rooms. But as I said before, just remember that Havana Sims will be touring all of the apartments that were renovated on her Twitch at 2 p.m. Eastern, and I expect it will be available as a replay if you miss it while it's live. And then everybody's renovation videos will be linked down below in a playlist as soon as I have that available. Don't forget to go vote. The voting link will also be down below as soon as I have it too. And for whoever's is your favorite of the various apartment renovations. She's not very good cook, so I would only let her use make a salad because I think she was like level 2, and I don't usually let my Sims make anything until they get to level 3 on the stove, I should say. And yeah, not a very good quality salad. It had the earwax in it. And there he is in his man cave, which he also didn't spend a lot of time in autonomously. He actually spent a lot of time looking after the kids. So much for his man cave. And here they are, the little one boogieing to the music. And they're all chatting in there. Like I said, the daughter didn't go out very much. So there's the instructions again for what we need to do. The voting ends at 8 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday, November 19th. So go vote down below at the link. So here's the details of the apartment on the gallery. It's up as a room under my Origin ID MapleSimmer. You can see I didn't limit myself for the packs. It used a lot of packs other than the packs we weren't allowed to use, of course. And it's 145,379. If you place it and you have a family move in, it'll probably be slightly less for your family to move in because that price there includes the outside walls. But you know, when you're talking 145,000, it probably doesn't make much difference. But that's going to be it for this video. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye! This has been Jennifer. If you have any comments or suggestions, please leave them below. I'd love to see them. If you liked the video, please leave a like. And if you'd like to see more videos of challenge, let's plays, tutorials, and occasional speed builds, please subscribe if you haven't already done so. Thanks very much!